Twitter is asking dozens of its former employees to return just days after laying off half of its workforce.
According to reports, some people were fired last week by mistake, while others may have been let go before management realized that their work and experience was necessary to build new features for the platform. There are also reports that Twitter is delaying the launching of its new $7.99 a month blue check verification service until after the midterm elections. So, for more on this, let's bring in New York Times reporter Lauren Hirsch. Thank you so much for joining us. I can't imagine what it's like if you're one of those people that got the layoff notice and then they were like, oh, we laid you off by mistake because we need your services. And then the entire time you're like, well, when are you going to lay me off again?
Right.
Like,
I mean, it's like when you come back and do this for me before Election Day and perhaps a couple of days afterwards to help roll out this new verification process, and then you're fired.
Right. I would be like, well, my rate just quadrupled.
Right.
Anyways, let us talk about what is going on. What more do we know about Twitter asking some employees to return?
It's, you laid it out perfectly. They, 1-2 days into Elon Musk's reign at Twitter, he realized just how terrible of a cash position the company is in. And he laid off about half of its workforce. Turns out it takes time to understand who does what. If you speak to people who have done mergers and acquisitions for years, they would say that there's always these hidden gems and these hidden experts that have the key relationship or know how to turn that one machine on. It takes time to know who that is, and Elon Musk has now learned that. He got rid of half his staff and now he needs some of them back. And to your point, listen, a paycheck is a paycheck. And so you got to pay the bills. And I'm sure some people are going to be thankful that they're being called back. But there are others who might not want to come back. I mean, the company that they were just effectively fired from is an entirely different company than it was 1 month ago when they were in uncertainty, 6 months ago before he bought it. Mm-hmm. And they may not want there. They now have 3 months severance, an extra month that Elon Musk was very proud he gave these employees. And maybe they use that time to find another job.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you hearing then about Elon's plans and his understanding of how a social media company is different than perhaps running PayPal or running Tesla?
Perhaps plan is a strong word.
Yes, because I wonder too, this is also a business, as you know, that relies heavily on advertising. And if the advertisers are not convinced that you know what you're doing and they're not convinced that you're going to protect their brand, then they're not going to advertise on your platform. And you can scream about it all day long on Twitter and have a lot of fanboys and stans cheering you on, but it doesn't make for a viable business model.
I'm going to add one more thing. Twitter wasn't making money.
I know,
beforehand.
But he knew that before he decided to, I would hope somebody whispered in his ear, by the way, this company isn't making any money.
I'm not sure. I think he knew that. I'm not quite sure he knew how bad it's bad. And they are losing a lot. And then so you're dealing with losing money. And then, yes, these advertisers, which make up 90% of their revenue. And the world of advertising, it's a very different world than the world of tech pros. It's whining, it's stining, it's being polite. It's maybe saying things you don't mean or believe in, but it's, as I said, polite, the right thing to do in some circles. And this is a new world for him, and it doesn't seem to be, at the onset, at least, going quite as well as he would have wanted. As he was tweeting over the weekend, he was going to go thermonuclear on the brands that don't advertise on his platform. Well, they don't really care,
right?
And there's more brand risk advertising on Twitter than there is not advertising. And once a couple leave, and everyone else is like, well, it's, we're heading into a recession, quite likely. Here's a quick buck I can save. My competitors aren't on Twitter. Why would I want to be on Twitter? When Elon was talking about his plans for Twitter and, the 6 months leading up to the deal, he kept talking about wanting to move away from advertising. And everyone around Twitter is like, well, when is Elon going to realize that Twitter is actually an advertising business? He's learned that, and it has been, I think, a bit of a tough acclimation period for him.
But Lauren, I don't really understand. We pointed out that earlier today that Kathy Griffin was suspended from Twitter for impersonating Elon. We saw Valerie Bertinelli, the TV star, also change her name to Elon Musk, and she retweeted a bunch of Democratic candidates who are running for office tomorrow. And again, now that he comes out and says if anybody does that and they don't indicate it's parody, they're going to be permanently suspended. But that's the point, right? I mean, that they were trying to make a point. They weren't doing it to spread misinformation. They were just saying, look, if anybody can be verified and anybody can just buy a blue check mark, well, you have no idea who's going to be behind those check marks, and that's the danger.
Absolutely. One of the things that Elon Musk, I think, is quickly learning is how hard it is to scale any idea in these platforms. He has taken a lot of issues with the way that Twitter has handled moderation, and there were probably some valid complaints or frustrations that he had. Maybe people got banned that shouldn't have. But the problem is it's really hard to roll out things at a mass scale. And that's why technology companies, social media companies, they test things, they try things. Twitter isn't really doing that. It's jumping. And that's great for innovation. That's great for excitement. But it's also really makes you prone to error. And that's what Elon Musk is learning.
Yeah. Lauren Hirsch, great reporting. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.